All right, welcome to Jack Dodson'S Racing Insider News this week. We got a packed show tonight.
Yeah, it's a pretty busy show.
Got to thank our marketing partners there. I think GAC, Great American Company, been with us for several years now. Appreciate those guys. Papa John's Pizza. Never get tired of pizza, do we, Jack? But tonight, we got
Let's pass over that and keep on going.
Slinger Speed Company. Hit everybody up if you want a local t-shirt company. Hit Tim Brown up. Tim will take care of you. Tell him Jack and I sent you. MPM Marketing, Tanya McAllister. I think give shout out to Tanya. We got to get her on the show. We've been emailing. She's going to help us with the suit for the winner of the sponsorship package, which will be an announcement at the banquet. So look out for an announcement. See, we got Bonnard's Brothers Distillery, Langley Speedway. Thanks to Bill and Chuck for allowing us to do the show from here. Huh? Terry, Chuck, Bill, all the above. Pepsi, Mountain Dew. Robert Rumbles.
Rumbles,
Moles,
not bulls.
He'll answer to it.
Right now, he'll answer anything because you don't even know who he is half the time.
Rumble, he's on the morning show.
It's his brother Rick. He just signed the contract. Mosquito Joe's get 50% off of your first month of service with Mosquito Joe's on this side of the water.
And we have a little announcement. Probably, if you want to wait, we'll do it at the banquet.
Yeah.
But we got a little something with Mosquito Joe.
What is it?
Huh? You don't know?
I'm just trying to play the show, Jack.
Okay.
Southampton Motor Speedway. I think Sammy Gator. Sammy's done some stuff for us. We appreciate the Sammy Gator graphics, t-shirts, vaping. Hell, I don't know what else he sells or does, but I think whatever there is.
Race fuel.
Huh?
Racing fuel.
Racing fuel? Who so? Is it hot fuel? Or?
I'm not getting involved in that question.
Right. I mean, you want good fuel if you're gonna run it.
That's it. I ain't getting involved in that one.
We got Mean Dean Automotive.
From Moya.
I wonder how long did you sit in front of the mirror and practice that before you got it right?
I didn't practice in front of the mirror. I did practice saying it, but I didn't.
Scott's Moyak is Rob Rummels. That's our next step.
With Greer and Associates, RDS has been busy. Man, he's turning and burning. It looks like out there.
He's fast limited this year.
Yeah, they're going. I think he's going to be racing down at Florence next week too.
Oh.
From what I understand.
Fast Eddie's Barbecue, man. You didn't make it any time, man.
That's the memo, man. Eddie was too fast today.
Well, see, that's if you come in right on time, and you're too late.
But let's just say it was some great barbecue. Probably the best meal we've had here in a while. So it was, it's a pretty good deal. Barbecue.
Yeah. Well,
I'm still smelling it, and I'm still.
We even got a goodie bag going with you.
I know. That's not for you either. So just stay away.
What about the wife?
That said he got here before you did.
He did.
With barbecue.
And he didn't have to leave either.
It wasn't all coleslaw this time. S&N Communications. I think Morehouse and those guys over at S&N Communications are coming on board. Airlock. I understand Airlock has been super popular. You talked to Todd Davis.
I talked to Todd Davis yesterday, and Todd said that they started selling those things like crazy. Junior Motorsports has bought a bunch of them. Hendrick Motorsports has bought a bunch of them. JGR's got some. So he said it's really taken off really good. And he's really excited about what all is going on with that. He lost his right-hand man, but other than that, he's good.
Yeah, he'll have to start putting the magnets in. That's what was his name?
Austin McCurdy.
Yeah, Austin. He helped design and stuff, and then they got molds made. So now now he's got to put, I forgot how many he's in each one, put the magnets in, and they stuff in there that holds it together. I mean, when we were in Charlotte, we were talking to him about it. It's a pretty cool thing. Maybe we can get him to throw one in there.
I have told him on the phone yesterday, he's got to come on the show. He said, well, be patient with me. I said, I've been patient. But he's going to come on the show, and hopefully we can get one of those things and let it so everybody know what the deal is. Because, you know, it would benefit a lot of guys here at Langley and some other short tracks, and it'd be cool.
He needs to send us a few.
I ain't gonna say a few.
When he sends us the chairs, so you're getting our chairs, they're going to be shipped soon, hopefully.
They wasn't shipped today because he was at Rockingham today.
Yeah, well, but they'll be shipped in the next week or so. We'll have them 4 chairs for whoever the winner is. We won't have them at the banquet, but we will have them for you before the race starts.
Before
the race
I'm gonna put a disclaimer out here right now before we get started.
What's that?
That this year, when we make our announcement, we'll have the check there. That'll be taken care of. Okay. The 4 chairs have already been taken care of. They're gonna be coming. There ain't no holding back on it. We got an extra start on that. And you've already talked about the uniform. So we are ahead of the game from last year.
The suit will be done.
Yeah. So we're ahead of it from last year. Ain't gonna be none of this.
Well,
I gotta wait till this happens and this happens.
Well, we've kind of got a preliminary design done. We'll exchange some stuff, and then we'll allow whoever wins to put some of their sponsors on the suit or what's left, what areas are left, and we'll need measurements. And then from there, hit the button and order it, and should have it before race season.
Yeah, we said that last year, but I think this time it will be.
Right. It's not coming from the same person, Jack.
All right, let's go. If you don't want me to say nothing, go ahead. Go on.
And then we got factory canopies, which they're the ones providing our chairs, and we appreciate them for the winter. But we got some announcements coming at the banquet, so make sure you listen or come to the banquet, so you'll know what the.
And Sammy Gator will not be at the banquet.
Nah, you believe that?
He told me he was not coming to the banquet, and I said, "You need to come to the banquet." He said, "For what?"
He only finished second.
He didn't win this year.
Right? Yeah.
So I guess if you finish second, ain't no damn need to come to the banquet.
They'll mail him his trophy.
So,
Yeah.
I said, that means Parker's not coming either, right?
Yeah, I doubt that. We didn't say which one.
He didn't say nothing. Anyway. All right. Little news before we get started.
You're about to have a lot.
What's up, Donovan Brown?
Saturday, February the 22nd, 11:30 to 1:30 is a Meet the Authors at the North Carolina Motorsports Hall of Fame. Donnie Allison, Steve Wade, David McGee, Kevin Schwantz, J.J. Grice, Perry Allen Wood, and Will Cronkite all have wrote stories about NASCAR. And they will be there to sign autographs and sell books and whatever. And I think it's a pretty good deal. I talked with Eric the other night, and Eric says he's going to also do a crew chiefs and artists who have done racing pictures and stuff like that. Of course, we won't have the greatest of all in Sam Bass, but
Keith, you're not here tonight. It's already been spoken for. It's already been divided up. Barbecue's over.
well, we know the barbecue. They'll just ignore it.
There'll be more at the sewer shop tomorrow night.
So anyway, that's a big deal. So please go out and attend to that. That's really cool to do. Also, next weekend, not this coming weekend, but the next weekend,
What's up, Gary?
will be the Icebreaker down in Florence, South Carolina. That's going to be big. Also, if you are a driver and want some headshots done here at Langley Speedway, I Create Photography is going to be here 215 and 222 in Champs Corner. There'll be a 20-minute time slot for everybody. You can get headshots, 3 headshots and 2 full uniform shots for $100. 10 a.m. to 6. What they want you to wear is a collared shirt with the team logo or just plain shirt. and then a clean fire suit, gloves, shoes, helmet, and please be patient with the photographer as he's going to try to get everybody done that signs up for it. So please sign up for it and get with I Create Photography to get that done. Today is the Rockingham test. I saw some pictures and stuff from the and got a couple of messages from people at the Rockingham test. That's going to be a lot. That's going to be cool to see how this all going to work out. Corey LaJoy has a new ride.
Is it a new ride?
Well, it might as well be for him. I mean, it's a part-time schedule, MWR, and it's he's gonna be driving the 01 for certain. He's got Duramax on it for the first race. So, and he's also going to be doing the new show on TV.
With his old boss, essentially. Who? What's her name? Her husband.
Danielle Trotta. Danielle Trotta, yeah. Okay. All right. Had some racing this weekend, just a little bit of racing. The Cars Tour West was in Kevin Harvick's Kern County Raceway this weekend. For the Cars Tour West race, Dawson Sutton got the win, and Kevin Harvick finished second, and both of them were in Kevin Harvick's cars. So
Kevin won.
Yeah, Kevin won.
And it was at his track. So yeah.
Right, yeah.
The ARCA West, Trevor Huddleston won the race in the ARCA West race. Daniel Hemrick got the pole for that race in one of Bill McAnally's cars. So that's a pretty big deal. Casey Kane is coming back to NASCAR in the Xfinity Series for 2 races. One will be at Daytona in the Xfinity race, and one will be at Rockingham. So that's pretty big deal.
I wonder why now? Why? I mean, he's been some dirt race. He's been doing some dirt racing. I don't know if he's been doing a lot. He's got the dirt team, but I mean, he's still fairly. I'm say he's not young, but because he started pretty young, I mean, he's still young in some aspects of older drivers racing.
But with the injury he had, I mean, it's kind of surprising to me that he did come back. He's going to come back and try it again.
I mean, how long has it been since he's?
It's been 5-6 years, hasn't it? Since he was at
longer than that.
We have blood clot issues. I couldn't fly.
So
part of it had something to do with he just sat in the car, his back would go numb, or
I don't think that was a blood clot. That was not Vickers. Was it Vickers or
Michael Waltrip's driver?
Yeah, but I don't know what Casey's deal was. We were really good friends with the car owner, and there was something, I don't know what. There was something going on. So he left Hendricks. He was driving the 95 car, still being paid by Hendricks because he couldn't back in the car. And then allegedly this person found out that the doctor had signed off for him to be in a car, sort of thing. And that's
where it is.
Yeah, sort of happened. But there were something was going on. What, I don't know that it's ever been said. They would not indulge that information to us. Everything else he pretty much tell us, but that was a
HIPAA violation.
Well,
He's going dirt full-time racing this year, isn't he?
He's been doing full-time the last couple of years.
Last couple of years?
has he? I mean, maybe he's doing better, but there was something going on with him.
All right, well, I already see our first guest on there. You want to do your thing over there?
Yeah, see who we got. We can start out with, oops, wrong way. Dodson'S Racing Insider.
Hi, I'm Eddie Clark with Fast Eddie's Barbecue. You're watching Jack Dodson'S Racing Insider with Scott Allen and Adam Wellbrock.
And there is Cole Jarrett. How you doing, Cole?
What's going on, y'all?
I don't know. You tell me. I hear you're a pretty busy fellow.
We've been busy the last few weeks. We had Arena Cross this past weekend at the Bob Martin Center in Williamston, and hoping we can get in the car this weekend and do some testing down at Fayetteville.
Oh, well, that's cool. So I know a little bit about your background, I mean, so to speak, but tell us how you got started in the racing.
Man, I grew up in karts. Started when I was like 3.5 down at Margarettsville. And I think we raced go-karts for like 10 years or so. And then started to think girls are pretty cool. And, you know, they wanted baseball players and not racing. So kind of stepped away from the racing scene for a while. 2020 come around, decided, you know what, kind of missed being with a helmet on, decided we were going to do some dirt bike racing. Did that for, I don't think that lasted, but probably 6 months. And then trailer got broken into and took the bikes. And always wondered, you know, why things happen for a reason. Wondered what the reason was behind that one. Decided it was time to get back in the go-kart. Set back in the go-kart thanks to Brett Drake. One weekend at Dixieland, went and got us one. Met my wife at Dixieland. Got engaged at Dixieland.
Oh, there goes your baseball theory right there.
Yeah, it goes right out the window, and the rest is history. And we moved up to cars I want to say 2 years ago. I think this will be our 3rd year in the car. But got back on the bike too, so it all worked out in the end.
So how did you do it, William? My grandson was down there at Williamson this weekend. So how did you do down there?
We got a 1st and a 3rd. We won the tandem race, which is me and my buddy Caleb. It was 2 people on one bike. We got that figured out, man. We back to back with that, and then I got a 3rd with the 250, so I can't complain.
Yeah.
It's called another bus.
2 people on a bike.
Oh yeah, it's a good time. It's a trip. It's a good thing to watch.
I've never heard of this.
I never haven't either. I want some more explanation on it. I think it's cool.
I had to send y'all guys some pictures. I know a bunch of people got some.
So is it like a regular motocross thing where you have another guy on the bike with you?
Oh yeah, the only difference is we're on the mini bikes. We're on the 110s instead of the big bikes. But yeah, just it's the whole arena cross track, and you gotta keep your passenger with you the whole time.
All right, that's pretty wild. I like that idea.
Is the bike big enough to hold me and Jack? Do you think?
It's barely big enough to hold me and Caleb, but we can make
Thank you very much, but I ain't getting on that damn thing with him. Okay, that's
Well,
You won't make it to the end.
The first rule is that you had to finish with your partner.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're gonna make it.
that might finish last.
Well, now you're into the going back to the cars and getting in the car that you. What is your plans for that? I mean, I know you said you were going to try to run 4 or 5 races or something like that this year. What's your plans?
Well, last year we ran points, and don't really want to be locked down to a point series this year. Kind of want to be able to venture around and run some more tracks, because I personally think the more tracks you run, the better of a driver you become. Mm-hmm. So I think we're going to focus between Fayetteville and Dixieland mainly. We're going to try to hit Natural Bridge, maybe run to Travelers Rest in South Carolina, kind of go wherever the wind blows. I would love to go to Alabama next year and race at the Talladega Short Track right after New Year's for the icebreaker.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be fun to do. Now, how much of an influence did your grandfather Wayne Reams have on you for racing?
Man, I think it's all his fault to begin with. It's huge, man. I remember going to Margarettsville when Dad was racing and sitting in the front gate with Pop. The stories I heard and the stories I was told about him. I tell you one thing though, I'd do anything to go back to them days with him.
Yeah, I was racing at Southampton, and he was probably I think he worked the back gate most of the time at Southampton. So I always got to see him every time I come through, and he always had a joke or something to go through, you know, or make a joke on me. Maybe that's all it was. I don't know.
Did he joke you about the starting and parking at
Go ahead, Cole. Go ahead, Cole. Somebody's talking. I can't understand it. Go ahead.
Yeah, he was definitely full of jokes.
Yeah, he was. Now, maybe I don't know how which kid are you the son of?
I am the son of Michael Jarrett.
Michael. Okay, all right. So now one of your cousins or something, uncles was Miss Southampton Speedway, right?
I want to say it might have been my mama.
Ooh.
Oh, okay, it was your mama. Okay.
Yeah, you might want to back your comments up here in a minute.
Okay, I remember her being. I remember Reams. All right, I remember a Reams
that's what you
being
remember,
in that game. Then another one became the Miss Southampton Speedway. So that's pretty cool. I mean, you know, you got a history there.
Yeah, man. like people say, you're just born into it. And racing's been a part of us the whole life.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming to get racing back at Southampton. I don't know if we'll ever get the oval track back, but that would be wonderful.
It'd be cool if we got it, but it's just nice to see somebody do something with it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you completely. So we know what you're going to do part-time this year. Hopefully we'll see you around somewhere during the year.
Oh, yeah, we'll definitely be at Dixieland. We're going to try to make opening night at Dixieland, and we're going to try to make opening night, or not opening night because they got speed weeks at Fayetteville. We're going to try to make the March 1st race at Fayetteville.
Okay. Now, who all helps you with your car?
Man, Michael Wells helped out a ton last year in Torque Racing Supply. He really steered us in the right direction. Paul Fisher, man, he'd come and help turn wrenches and bend metal with the best of them. Dad, mom, brothers, sisters. Caleb Potts, he's a big friend of mine, and he's a huge help. It's just so many people that pitch in with this team that it's hard to name everybody.
All right, who all are your sponsors and everything you got?
Last year we had Torque Racing and Auto Maintenance Service. They were a huge help. This year we've picked up a couple more. Hopefully we can see Torque open back up this year. Would love to. Rusty and Sons Alignment in Roanoke Rapids, JB's Bangin' Barbecue from Emporia, Tidewater Lawn Solutions, Cheeks Painting and Handyman Service, and then Kevin Allen with Auto Maintenance Service. So we got a pretty excited about this year. Got a couple more I hope are in the works. I should find something out this week, but we'll see.
What is Mike Wells up to now? I mean, the Torque closed down. What's he got going on?
He's just running Wells Mechanical right now.
Oh, okay. So who is the track at Halifax? Is that going to open up again this year? Have you heard anything?
Hey, your guess is just as good as mine. I've heard rumors that they might host a race or two, but I've also heard that it's going to be closed up, and he might try and fix it up and resell it.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. Well, Cole, we appreciate you being with us, man. I'm glad to be able to finally talk to you. Being from down in Boykins, Virginia, I mean, that's a huge, big town. So.
Oh, yeah. The big old town of Boykins.
So I might have to come out there and check you out sometime when I'm running through there to see your car and see everything and talk to you a little bit.
Hey, man, come by anytime.
All right, man. All right, Cole. Well, we'll talk to you again real soon, and thank you for being with us.
All right, guys. Y'all take it easy.
All right,
man. Good luck, bud.
Later.
I did not know. I honestly didn't know. And don't start no shit. I can see it in your eyes. You're getting ready to start something. But I did not know until I did some research on him.
Who his mama was?
Who his grandfather was. Okay, who his grandfather was. And then, I remember him just like yesterday. We're going in and out of that racetrack with Wayne being there.
You gotta remember his names.
And I knew somebody that
died laughing.
Cole, don't be laughing at these guys. Don't let that get to you now. But I knew one of them was Miss Southampton Speedway. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I used to race at this place, right? And don't start it. I know you get something
I knew, did his grandfather, is he the one? He was the first one you seen sitting outside the gate when you parked out there. Right?
No, that's not true. And
While you were staring at his mama.
well, this went off the rails real fast. I'm trying to have a nice conversation with Cole here, and you took it off.
Poor fellow. Terrible when your mom was good looking and everybody's staring at her. She's, Miss Southampton or.
They made a good pick. I never even seen them.
Backstroking.
Hey, y'all, something else.
I was waiting for him to say something about Miss Southampton, and he's like, "Oh, that's my mom."
Yeah, that did get.
You can tell he was Maybe he knows that he's got all the dirt. You wait till he gets home and talks to Gigi.
And that's our show.
You come back. Where's little man? He ain't living no more.
We're waiting on Tim Brown now.
Man, they're super excited about having Tim Brown, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine how excited he's got to be? I mean, look, the win in the championships, the races he's won, the name that he's got at Bowman Gray, and then to be able to run the Cup race there. It's got to be so cool. I imagine he ain't slept in months or whenever this deal's been come together.
I was excited when he saw it. Oh, it's goals.
So it'll be, you're gonna be going out fast. But I mean, hey, Burt Myers too. I mean, he's going to be in the race, and a lot of people are talking.
Who's that team that Bert's driving for? I don't know who.
It's part of the Fury Racing group, but they're sponsored by Amerivet, or something like whatever how you say it. And
Bert's already planning on winning things.
Shocker. I mean, it's one thing that Bert doesn't lack confidence or cockiness. Which, I mean,
Most race car drivers.
right. I mean, like, how many professional athletes are not, right? I mean, if they're not super confident or cocky, you don't know who they are.
and Burt wants them, and Burt wants to get that record at Bowman Grace for a championship. And it seems like every time he gets one, Tim gets another one. So
I mean, what are they standing at?
I think it's like 12 to 10 right now.
Wow. But I mean, it's got to be super exciting for both of those guys to be going to run this race. And let's face it, with the car they have today, your chances are a lot better than they were, 5 or 10 years ago. If you didn't have really good equipment, it's sort of evened out. I think they have a legitimate car to be competitive in.
And think about it, he's got more laps there probably than
Bert and Tim got an advantage over.
they got, and Ryan
For
Priest. And Ryan Priest too.
Has he raced there that much?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think he'd raced there that much.
Yeah, Priest has raced there a bunch. And so the three of them probably have more laps there than a lot of other people do.
Yeah.
So that's,
I wonder what everybody's who do you think's going to win? Like, who do you think the guy's going to be? I mean, I think it's a.
We're doing a little pig.
Joey Logano's going to trip up and end up in victory lane.
Well, I mean, I don't think you could go against him. I mean, you definitely can't go against him.
We're doing a little pig thing with my friends and stuff. He picked Priest.
I mean, I think he's a legitimate shot. I don't think you can go against the 22 though. I mean, those guys.
any special event, that 22 is right on top of them.
It's just like whenever it's on the line, you can't bet against those guys. I mean, they just somehow make something happen, make it work.
That penalty.
It did. But you get caught, you get caught. I mean, he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, but hey, it's still pretty. I think it's going to be pretty interesting, and I hope it gives some people that don't normally run up front get to run up front and put some eyeballs on a Tim Brown.
No pit stops.
Hmm.
No pit stops this weekend either.
Well, I mean, I think it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be. The cars are so close, and from my understanding, with the engineering, those guys they suck the back of the car down to get air, and that's how they adjust the car. It's crazy. So the car looks like a porpoise. They rake the car with the rear down, and the air going underneath the car creates suction, and that's how and then they adjust the front of the car up and down to get pushed tight. They don't do wedge. It's kind of crazy how they're doing this. I just don't think that's going to be the least amount of factor of any racetrack you can go to because it's so small. I think it's going to be way less important than it would be at Martinsville. I can't think of any other racetrack that could remotely be close.
I think it was Blickensdorf or somebody was on radio today saying there's nothing that you can transfer from Bowman Gray to anything they're going to be doing this year racing.
And Andrew Fuller says Denny Hamlin's going to win. I don't know.
I can't see Denny Hamlin. I'm having a tough time thinking Denny Hamlin's going to win very many races at all this year. A lot of changes in his camp.
I mean, honestly, I think that, especially out of the guys that are just going to show up for this race, I think Tim has probably the best opportunity. I mean, you could say Burt, but this other car, it's a team that only runs once every great while. I don't know who they're getting support from. I don't know who's helping with that team. I mean, the car looks like the car is over at Burt's place, so I don't know if they're working on it, which, okay. But I just think when you're in this stacked of a field, you have to have some kind of support. And
Some kind of engineer that knows that car.
I mean, and Rick Ware, not that they're a premier team, but they do have information they get from Roush Fenway, Brad Kalowski Racing, right? We know that. So and Tim works there.
Yep.
And I don't know what his capacity is there. I think he's in the setup plates, or I think he has something to do
He does
with
setup.
suspension stuff. Or,
He does setups.
is he setup guy? So I think, you know, all that stuff really helps him, especially with his a bit of knowledge. And if you don't think that he's setting the car up that he's going to run, if you don't think he's going to put some extra emphasis on it, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he set on the pole for the race.
Could very well do it. Could very well do it. But, you know, Tony Jr. is helping Burt. So,
Year?
Tony Geary
Well,
Jr.
he's in that group.
So he's helping Burt. So anyway, I've sent
But I don't know how much of. I mean, I know Tony Geary because that's how they. I know the guy who owns that team, or
hey, are you
sort of funding
ready to
that
come on the
stuff.
show?
is the one that funds the Fury race cars.
Oh, okay. I sent you the link and everything, so you should have it.
Just got to open it up in a Chrome browser.
It's like a Zoom call. No, I sent it to you yesterday. Oh, okay, we'll do. All right, man. Okay, all right.
But I don't know how much Tony Jr. I don't think Tony Jr. is working that much behind the scenes on the car. Do you? I mean, we're privy to some. I know at Charlotte, he was just sort of overseeing. It wasn't like he had his finger on setting the car up, make sure it was this way, that way. He was just sort of helping make calls on pit road kind of thing,
Yeah.
and saying, hey, the car is doing this, do that. I don't think the effort, that big of an effort's behind it.
Well, I mean, every little bit helps, and you got some experience there, so.
No, you definitely have a lot of
And
experience.
you got-
And another cocky one too, right? We were talking with him at Charlotte, and he's like, I'm goddamn better than top 20 of these guys in the garage right now. I know I can come out here and win races. And his wife's like, honey, that's cocky. And she's like, and he's like, well, yeah, it is.
But it's me. I can do it.
Yeah.
But he's got a lot of experience. Bert's got a lot of experience there, so that may help
Mhm.
in the long run. But still,
Reese has got a lot of laps on the track, and he's probably got the advantage with the knowing the car.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. All right, we got. All right, Bert, how you doing, man? Or Tim?
Oh Lord, I know you didn't just start this out calling me Bert.
I was hoping you didn't catch that. We were just
I
talking.
did.
so if
That's
he,
like a cuss word there.
so
Yeah,
he
you said that
doesn't-
right.
You can just slap him. Tim, I know this is a big week for you, and I'm sorry we're bothering you too much, a little bit, but I know it's a big week. And what are your plans and expectations for this weekend at Bowman Gray? You got a lot of laps there, buddy.
Well, like my plan my plan is to enjoy the moment, right? And that's honestly, I want to enjoy this opportunity with my family, and I just want to go do the best I possibly can. And you know, a lot of people think that you know, I've got a million laps around that place, and they think I've got an advantage. Well, that's not true. These cars are totally different than anything that I've ever driven, as far as the way the geometry is and the weight of the car, the tires, and all that. So what little bit of advantage I have of racing at the stadium is also gone because they come in and put these new safer barriers up, which took the line that I normally run away. So
I don't know. You think of that?
yeah, so it's not an advantage at all. So you know, those guys that the professional race car drivers, those cup guys are, you know, the best in the world for a reason, and they're used to driving this car. So I'm just gonna go do the best I can and have fun at this, and enjoy the moment with my wife and kids and all my family and friends and fans, and just see what happens.
I mean, it had to be a big deal to you when they said they were bringing the cup cars to Bowman Gray, but you probably didn't realize that you were going to be, when they first made that announcement, that you would get a chance to do it. So I know that's a big deal.
Well, I knew before it ever got announced that I was going to get the drive, because Rick Ware reached out to me. He had heard in one of the owners' meetings that, you know, it's 99% done. The class is coming to Bowman Gray. So right after that meeting, he texted me and said, "Hey, you're going to be running cup car at Bowman Gray." So I knew it 6 months ago, if before it ever was announced, right? So, and then here it is, right? So it was, I didn't want to get my hopes up too much, for the simple fact that, you know, things can happen and it not get put together. It's a big business and takes a lot of money to make these wheels turn. So, but it's all panned out and it's all worked out, and it's been one of the greatest experiences of my life so far. So, man, whatever happens Saturday, I'm just blessed to get the opportunity to do it.
How did you keep that a secret? I think we lost you. You got your finger over the, there you go. No?
I didn't. You there?
Yeah, we got you.
All right. So it was really hard to keep that secret, but in my world, it really wasn't a secret until it basically came to fruition, right? So once I got the nod from Robbie Benton at work, he said, "Hey, this is a done deal. NASCAR's approved you because of all the testing that you've done in the cup cars over the years." And it was like, oh, wow, okay, so this possibly could happen. So that's when I started telling, you know, my wife. Still couldn't tell anybody else because it's such a big deal, right? So me and her knew it for a couple months before. Hey, I gotta go. Ben. I'm on a TV call. Ben.
Yeah, you tell them to be quiet, and then you come over here and run your mouth.
I'm on my phone, so we can't be acting like that. Hey, just please step out of the way. All these guys are trying to work. That's all you gotta do, Ben, is ask them, please. No, I seen you.
We'll take that off the live.
Okay, well, that's something new for our show.
I can't. Well, one, I can't believe I called him Bird. Because we didn't say Bird. Bird.
You're really screwing up when you call him Bird.
I know, right? But man, how excited! But if he listens back, I did say I think he has a good shot at the pole.
I think he's got a good shot. If things work out the way, you know.
But you know, I didn't think about the safer barriers. I mean, that place is already pretty narrow as it is. And I didn't think about it. I don't know. I think, what does the safer barrier take? About 2 feet?
Put a safer barrier around here, I couldn't drive it.
Right.
Well,
I mean,
they're
it's
gonna keep that up on the show, right?
I would think they'd have to.
So
I mean,
they're not gonna get rid of it afterwards, right?
No, it's gonna stay there. Everything's gonna stay there. It's gonna be part of
So
it.
it's gonna throw off its modified line and everything. I didn't think of that either.
yeah, I didn't think about that whole scenario, because all those guys are going to be thrown off because they have it. I'm sure they're putting it, or just put the safer barrier up. I don't think it's been up.
No, they just
So
2 weeks ago.
So all those guys are going to be
Oh, he's back.
Are you back with us?
Yeah.
Don't sound too happy there, so we'll leave that alone.
Yeah, please, can you go back and edit all that out?
Well, we took you off after a second.
Do it with Rick Ware coming and Robbie Benton coming and getting you in the car, and you spend a lot of time. I mean, you're an employee there, so you spend a lot of time getting these cars ready and knowing what to do. That's got to be a little bit of an advantage for you.
Yeah, I mean, just as far as knowing the car that I'm going to be driving is as good as I can make it. But it's not really an advantage because all these cup teams have quality mechanics putting all the cars together. My story's a little bit unique because I get to help build the car that I'm actually going to drive, and no other cup driver is going to, work on the car they're going to drive. It just doesn't happen at this level anymore. So I think that's pretty special in its own self, right?
How many family members are going to come to the race with you? I mean, that's got to be it's going to be such a cool thing to sit there with your family and have this experience.
So I know, like my wife and my son Cam and my daughter Marley, Megan, my wife, and my brother Ben and his wife Paige will be there, and a lot of my crew members will be there. My mom just had surgery today, so she won't make it. My dad, he's up in heaven, so he'll be watching from up there, and pretty much I see a lot of close friends and stuff will be there cheering us on. But it's just it's a really cool deal. I'm just upset over what just happened here at my shop. The two guys get into it. I'm sorry. It just
No, you're good. We took you off, so
We took it off, so we didn't want to get here. But it's really cool that a place you race on a weekly basis, you're going to pull out on that track in a cup car. There's a lot of, Bowman Gray has a lot of people and a lot of different ways of who they pull for there, but it's got to be cool to have that backing when you pull out on that track.
Yeah, you do, unless you ask Burt Myers, and he thinks that since he got a cup ride, that the Bowman Gray fans are only going to pull for him.
You might get the loudest cheer at driver intros, though. On 10.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's everybody's egos and all getting away sometimes, but the good Lord's blessed me and the opportunity to go do this. I'm just going to make the best out of it and have fun, and whatever happens, happens. It's all in his hands.
So this rivalry between you and Burt, Jason, all that group, is it as wild as it's made out to be?
It's real to me.
I love it.
I just finished watching the thing last night about the Madhouse, and I went back and watched the couple years ago when they did a thing with the Madhouse. I thought that was really cool, that how the fans react to you and Burt and everybody down there. So I think you got a little bit of an advantage, because I think a lot more of them were pulling for you at that time.
Yeah. So at the stadium, I honestly feel like, if you're a Burt Myers fan, you hate me. And I'm just gonna put it out there. If you're a Tim Brown fan, most of them hate Burt.
Right.
It's a love-hate relationship. You're not gonna ever find anybody that's like, hey, I'd like to see both of those guys run good, because it's just, you're not gonna find that here. Like, we may respect each other's hard work and abilities and all that, but that's probably about as far as it goes.
So y'all don't go out and eat dinner together or nothing like that. So
No.
How much has your phone blown up since this announcement?
Man, I can't get anything done. And that's what just happened here at my shop. I got 15 people here trying to get this car's got to get done tonight and loaded so I can take it to work tomorrow to unveil the cup car. And they want the modified sitting there with it. And, everybody, I got a small shop, and I normally don't have any help. And tonight I got a bunch of help, and they're falling all over each other. And next thing you know, you got a brawl.
Well, when you're popular like that, they'll come see you. They'll see what you got going on and act like they're part of it.
Yeah.
Well, look, I was talking to Pete Wright the other night, and we were talking, and he said he thinks you got the best chance of all to win, so he's pulling for you.
Yeah, a lot of people think that, and I'm so blessed that I have that I have so many people believing in me, right? And that's awesome. I just don't want to let anybody down, right? I want to go do absolute best I can. And when I climb out of that thing, whether it's in victory lane or whether I climb out of it Sunday in the last chance race and don't make the race, I just want everybody to know that I gave it 110%, and that's all I had. And keep in mind too, a lot of people don't realize this. It's not just our driving ability. Anymore it's 60% car and 40% driving ability. Like I've had race cars that my 8-year-old son could win races in, and then I've had cars that I couldn't win in if Earnhardt or Kyle Busch or whoever was driving it, right? Or Kyle Larson. So it's equipment, it's everything, right? It's a team. That's why it's a team. It's everything's got to go just right. And we know at RWR, if we make the race, everything's got to go our way. Everything's got to be just right.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm wishing you the best. I hope
Yeah.
everything works out good for you. And we're going to go ahead and sign off and let you get back to work. And hopefully we'll talk to you again real soon when things are a little bit peaceful.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Hey, no problem, man. We appreciate it.
I got to go talk to these guys now. They got to do better.
All right. We'll talk to you again sometime soon, Tim.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank
Good
you.
luck, buddy. Man, I really do hope he does well. And I think he will. I really think he will. And I know he's trying not to be overconfident, and I don't blame him. I mean, I can't imagine the emotions that he's going through. I mean, it's like somebody calling you and say, "Hey, can you call the cup race this weekend?" You're like, yeah, I can do it. I'm not gonna say that, right? Yeah, but it's gonna be nervous, right? You don't want to mess up.
You're gonna feel that pressure regardless. I mean,
Yeah.
10, 11-time champion.
But him and Bert are not friends. So, but I don't know if you watched the Madhouse last night. Did you watch that last night on TV? The Madhouse?
Fox Sports One.
Yeah.
Catch it.
You need to watch that because it's really cool. It goes through different stages.
I remember watching it back in the day, and it's super entertaining.
Well, I went back and watched the Knights of Bowman Gray, is what it was called. And I went back and watched it last week, and that was kind of cool. And then they had this one come out yesterday, and it was, it went back and it talks about how they're getting ready for the races and the point on the wall. There's one point on the wall, it juts out a little bit, and how they're going to try to figure that out with the safer barrier and all this other stuff. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
So Ben Kennedy was there. He walked the track and told them what they wanted, what they needed to get done. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
I think it'll be
and Ben's done a lot of good things. I mean, he's like brung down the race, and he's doing things differently. And I think COVID sort of helped. I think without COVID, I don't know that we'd be going to these other these places.
Now, I got a trivia question for you before we go to John. Got a trivia question. Who was the last guy to win a K&N race at Bowman Gray?
K&N?
That was the K&N that was the last big series that run at Bowman Gray. Who won that race?
What time period was that? In the 90s?
It was probably
10 years ago.
Somewhere around 2013, 2010, something like that, back in that area.
That one? I don't even know K&N.
Huh? Ben Kennedy. Ben Kennedy was the last last guy to win in a full-size K&N car that raced there. That was a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
All right, let's get John on here and talk with him.
What's up, John? How you doing, man?
Good. How y'all doing?
Good.
Hey, John. Man, I tell you what, I got really excited when I saw the Apex thing on Facebook and everything. I've gone through every one of them. I think that is a great thing you're doing there. I think it's really cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot.
And I saw where you had Phoenix Kimball come down and do some stuff there. And that was, that's really wild. Tell me how you got started in this.
So, down here in the South, right, there's a bunch of us, relocated Yankees, right? So I'm originally from Connecticut, and I grew up watching, sports car racing up at Lime Rock and, other places, and got bit by the racing bug at an early age, and so my passion's always been, for racing, and, grew up wanting to be, Al Unser Jr. or, somebody in the IndyCar world. And then my career was IT. So, technology background and so on. So racing and computers, it made sense, right? I knew of sim centers. They'd been around in Europe for the last, they've been in Europe for 20 plus years, and they're just now catching on here in the US. And there's maybe 50 of them here in the US, and everybody's kind of vying for the top. But I was inspired by a place that I had visited in Asheville called the Track at Asheville. They are no longer there because of the hurricane, put 11 and a half feet of water in their store. So, but that was my inspiration. Like, I was up in Asheville on vacation, and I was kind of looking for my next opportunity as an IT guy. I had just left one opportunity, and I'd taken some 6 months off, and was trying to figure it out, and was interviewing at places, and nothing was hitting. Like, my passion wasn't there for it anymore. And we came across the Track at Asheville, and I was inspired by what they did and what he created. And, I arrogantly was like, oh, I can do this better. And I don't know if I have or not, but, obviously we all look at things arrogantly, and, we'll say, oh, I can do a little something of that. And then I started the Apex Racing Lab as a sim trailer. So I have a 24-foot car trailer that's got, generators and 4 sims in it. And we debuted that at the IMSA race up at VIR in August of 22. Immediate success with the trailer, and we knew immediately we wanted to open a facility, and took a little bit of time, but we opened June 22nd.
Well, give us a little bit of background on what all you have there at the.
What is Apex Racing?
Tell us what you got.
Yeah, so what Apex Racing Lab is we're located in Cary, North Carolina. We have 16 state-of-the-art simulators. Our facility is almost 6,000 square feet. So we have a private event space. We have a full craft cocktail bar. So if you like brown liquors, I think I'm up to about 60 of them. But we have, various tequilas and vodkas and everything too. And so with our simulators, we have 4 what we call youth sims. They do not have motion. They have haptic feedback, or butt kickers is the term in the industry. And so those ones have, they're smaller chassis and frames. They have smaller seats, and the equipment they have has less resistance. And then, our adult sims, basically, they're detuned for a kid. And then our adult ones, we have 12 full motion adult simulators. And again, all of our equipment comes from a company out of Montreal called Advanced Sim Racing. But we do run like Sparco FIA rated seats, and they're, if you know simulators, these are what they call 80/20 rigs. We're running LG monitors, standard i5, Intel processors, NVIDIA 4070 video cards. And then the hardware itself is SimiCube Pro wheelbases, Huskenfeld Ultimate pedals, D-Box motion platform, and then GSI steering wheels. For the NASCAR fans, we had MPI make us some custom Apex Racing Lab wheels. So for when people come in to do NASCAR, we do have the Huskenfeld sequential shifters, and then we throw on the MPI wheels.
Wow.
I like how I'm sure all these sim racing guys know all what he just said.
Yeah, I know. I gave you the uber nerdy breakdown, and I apologize, but in case there was,
No, you're good because I think a lot of people that are in that world, right? They
yeah,
know
they're gonna go, oh my god, right? Basically, we built these things. If you wanted to build one of these sims at your house, it would cost you about $25,000.
Good gracious.
Yeah,
So I
so
won't feel so bad
But you-
at Wrecking Jack then.
yeah, so like our kid sims are about 8,000, and then our adult full motion ones. Motion is expensive. Motion adds anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000 to do motion on a sim, and so yeah, that's what really brings up the price.
So you also do some I mean, they have instructors there with.
Yes. Yep.
I did see that.
Yeah, so I have a one former. He was on the NASCAR Richard Childress Racing, iRacing team. His name is Ben. Ben actively competes in other iRacing competitions. He's doing one right now, put on by PT Autosport, where he's currently leading after 2 events. And Ben is our go-to coach. We have others, but he's honestly our best.
So do you have like leagues that on certain nights that do things?
Yeah. So right now we're running on Tuesdays and Wednesday nights, what we call sprint nights. And the concept there is you're getting, we pick a car and track combo. We tell everybody in advance, and that you get it's a $60 entry fee. It's 15 minutes or 20 minutes of practice, a 15-minute race, and then a second 15-minute race, but it's a reverse grid based on results of the first race. And right now our number one goal is to build community, and the sprint racing, it's starting to take off. And once we have a larger community, we'll be able to follow into leagues.
Okay. Now, when you come there to race, or can you adjust a car, or is the car pretty much you have like a standard setup for everybody?
They all have a standard setup, but if people are knowledgeable enough, we would say tweak it. We don't mind people doing that. Once you get off the sim, it'll default back to the our current set, to the standard settings. But we've had people come in, like for example, an ARCA and Truck Series driver, Jason Alexander. He comes in, and his hometown is Apex, North Carolina, and so when he's home, he comes in and he'll tweak the settings, and we're all for it. If that's what it takes to make you all better, do it.
So
I know when I race, I very rarely do I have time to get on the sim now, but when I do, because my home track for me, I'm a road course guy, so it's VIR, and when I'm playing on there, I'll tweak the settings.
So what platform or software are you using? Is this iRacing, or is this something else?
We do not use iRacing as our primary software. Basically, it's for the commercial product from iRacing. There are some negatives that iRacing is currently working through. Well, number one for me is the cost of iRacing, and then the commercial license is over $1,300 per seat, and you don't get all the tracks. Like I wouldn't get Spa or the Nürburgring or some of the other bigger ones that people want to run on. So we use right now currently a combination of software called rFactor 2, as well as Assetto Corsa for our drifting platforms.
Oh, you got drifting too, huh?
Yeah, drifting actually goes in. We're installing drifting tomorrow.
wow.
Huh.
Yeah, so we're doing it on a couple of sims as a test. Handbrakes and so on are being added. And then we're having MPI, because our NASCAR wheels right now are wrapped with Alcantara or suede, whatever it really is. And then we're having MPI make us some leather wrapped wheels for drifting, so it'll flow through your hand smoother.
So are people allowed just to come in, or do you
What's a membership cost?
do you have to be
Yeah, you don't need a membership. You can just book online. You can make a reservation on our website or walk in. Obviously, reservations are always encouraged. And the cost is $40 for 30 minutes or $75 for an hour. We also do a $90 for 90 minutes, kind of an intro to sim racing, where we'll give you, progress you through low horsepower to high horsepower cars. You end up, with most people truthfully end up, with Formula One, and they want to do like an F1 car at Spa or something as kind of the top of the line. NASCAR people seem to, honestly, we're not getting a lot of oval racing. You just kind of are turning laps, so people want more competition and doing more. Phoenix is always popular, or Kansas is always popular for the circle track stuff. But people really love like the Daytona road course with a stock car, or the Nürburgring with a stock car, because we can do all sorts of car and track combos. We can put a stock car on, any F1 track in the world, or, almost anywhere. So it's kind of crazy what we can do.
So do you allow crazy people like me and Scott come in there and race against each other?
Yeah, 100%. So you, if you were in my facility, you'd be, you'd come in, you'd sign the waivers. Because of the resistance on the steering wheels, it's possible if in an accident you don't let go of the wheel, you could, sprain your wrist or something. We've never had anybody do it. So we've never had to make good with the waivers, but we do have a waiver. Once you are checked in, we take you over to the sim. Well, sorry, let me back up. Once you're checked in, you'll pick your car and track combo. We have ones that we suggest for beginners to super advanced people. You pick your car and track combo. We take you over to your assigned simulators. We give you a little briefing. We get you situated. And once you're in there, if it's two of you or all, 12 people, we put you in a channel, an audio channel, where you use the radio button on the steering wheel and you're able to talk to each other and have fun.
So then, let me ask you: when some of these races where you would normally use a spotter, how does that work with this? So you have somebody that can be your spotter, or is it automatic? Or
so we use a piece of software called Crew Chief, and Crew Chief will provide you that information.
Okay,
that's pretty wild. Me and Scott have got to come down here and be a part of that.
Yeah, we need damage off though.
Yeah, so we always run damage off and we run tire wear off unless it's, requested. Simply, we want people, the number one goal is for people to come in and have a good time. We want you to not leave frustrated.
Well, Jack might.
So, but, some people do with the motion. Some people will get motion sick. And if you lose that battle for motion sickness, you do get a free t-shirt.
Oh,
that's hilarious.
I mean,
John, we appreciate you spending some time with us tonight, and I want to come down there and do that one time. So you might see me down there.
Yeah, he's serious.
Where are you coming out of again?
Virginia Beach.
All right. Yeah, I mean, come on down, man. I'd love to host you. Please, reach out. I was down at Rockingham today for the NASCAR test, and we're going to be doing some work with a couple of NASCAR teams and stuff, and primarily with the 76 truck of Spencer Boyd. So if you guys are ever on your way down to Rockingham for the upcoming race, over Easter weekend, please stop in on your way, man. You'd literally drive right past us. So
yeah, we'll definitely come by. Jack was definitely excited. He had texted me and was like, "Hey, check this out." I'm like, "What are you sending me?"
Yeah. And then we're sponsoring now too over at Wake County Speedway. So they have the upcoming Bull Bash, and we're the title sponsor for that for the next 4 or 5 weekends, I think. Nice. So we'll be Phoenix Kimball, and then Phoenix is actually going to be working for me part-time a little bit.
And she's kind of popular.
Yeah, she's kind of popular.
Okay. She's a very well-spoken 17-year-old woman, and we're happy to be a part of it and help promote women in motorsports.
Yeah, it's great.
And there's plenty of dudes in here. We need some more women in motorsports.
Absolutely.
I agree. Well, John, we appreciate your time. I'll let you know if we coming down that way sometime so we can meet up and see what's going on.
Yeah, please do. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Take care. Bye.
Game on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we need to
You're
pick.
gonna get a T-shirt. I don't know what it feels like in that simulator when you get flipped over. We'll be there all goddamn day. Turn it back on. Another race.
So the three of us need to go
Yeah.
down there.
So you gonna run in the back?
So we need to get down here and do that one time. So I think it'd be a lot of fun
Oh, for
to
sure.
do that. And
How far down is it?
it's running around Raleigh.
Okay, that's not too bad.
4.5 hours.
I'm good at some days.
It's not that- maybe three. Three from my house, three, something like that.
Hour from here, 4.5 hours. You're right, Eddie.
No, it's about 2 hours for Scott, the way he drives, okay?
The way he doesn't drive.
I wasn't
The
driving.
way the
yet.
car drives.
Well, the way the car drives, it does 97 by itself.
That'd be long.
Elon's driving.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right, I saw where Regina was on here.
She just got the camera off. There she
There
is.
she is. All right, let's get her on here.
How you doing?
How you doing, Regina?
Hi, Jack. Nice to meet you. Well, I see the three of you, Scott, Adam, and Jack. How are you? Nice to meet you.
We're really good, and we're glad to meet you. And tell us a little bit about this test you did with Willie Mullins and them a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that was a really, really good test. A couple weeks ago, I had the opportunity to drive for the first time an ARCA car with Mullins Racing. It went really well. Actually, we are still looking for some opportunities to race with them this year. So hopefully it won't be the last time you see me this year in the car. We talked about on the email, the Mullins Racing family is just amazing. Everyone was so welcoming. They have so much experience in this. I remember I went to the shop in Virginia and everyone was really happy to see me there. They told me, like, we're going to take it slow on the first laps on the track. We'll see how you do, and then we'll decide if we want to draft, if we don't want to draft. But I think it went really well. After a couple laps, they were like, Big Willie wants to draft with you, so let's do it. And I was really happy with the progress we made. They are amazing people. They taught me so many things. And, well, we are ready to go back to the racetrack again.
So were you faster than Big Willie?
At some point, but I mean, their cars are really even. I could not say one is better than the other. So I think both cars were really fast. I think one of the cars ended up in 3rd overall and then the other car 8th overall. So I would say they have really good equipment.
Okay, I was just trying to get you to make sure Willie knew that you were the better driver.
I'm trying not to say anything. Big Willie was my coach there, so at some point, hopefully, the student will be better than the teacher. But in that day, I was following his footsteps, so I'll give that to him.
Well, you know, Big Willie's he's not the man in charge of that group, right? You know, Dinah's the one's in charge of the whole operation.
She's the boss.
She's amazing. And oh my God, whenever you have the opportunity to go to the racetrack and they are racing, you have to let them try their brownies. They are amazing. Oh my God. I was just in the holder and it was so cold. And I was just eating brownies while we went back to the racetrack again. Like whenever we jump out of the cars, we were like debriefing inside, and they have just amazing brownies. So,
So Regina, how did you get started in racing? That you got, you wanted to become a race car driver?
So my grandpa was a rally driver in the 70s. He was national champion in Mexico. So that was the first thing that made me fall in love with race cars. My uncle also used to work on engines and build race cars for a living. That's actually how my grandparents met. So everything has been whenever I did something, my grandpa would take me to watch race cars or watch race cars on the TV. So when I was 9, I had the opportunity to start racing in go-kart racing, so more like a road course. At some point, I thought I was going more to formulas, and I ended up in NASCAR, which I don't regret at all.
So what have you raced?
Right now, I'm doing full season of NASCAR Mexico. I have been racing NASCAR Mexico for 4 years now. I did the Truck Mexico Series stuff. I have done some, like, it's equivalent to street stocks, but in Mexico. A lot of karting in the US, a lot of karting in Mexico, and I did do a race of Formula 4 at some point, like in 2017. But I was already involved in NASCAR in the Truck Series in Mexico, so I actually decided that it was more exciting to race NASCAR than formulas. And I respect so much every driver of formulas is just different. I feel like road course racing, being in the oval, it just gives me more adrenaline. Just like everyone is, you have to be so careful with the draft, and like any small contact with anyone, it just becomes a big mess. So that's exciting, and I think it's exciting for the race fans too.
Sure. So what was going through your mind when you first made your first lap or two at Daytona? Because like for any stock car person or any NASCAR person, Daytona is like the Daytona, right? So what was going through your mind, and what was that like?
Yeah, so I was honestly so nervous. Especially it was my very first time in an ARCA car, so it was not only getting to know new racetrack, but getting to know a new race car too, like racetrack, race car, and new team. So everything was new to me. So my very first lap, I was really nervous. Fortunately, I did like a lap on a like mama van, on a van with Big Willie, and he showed me like where our reference should be. And he was like, and you'll see, it's so easy, you'll like it. And then I was like in the van, like, okay, it looks intimidating at first. And I remember another friend was there, and he told me like, you just need to go, like, just trust that the car will stick, it has so much grip. And like in turn 4, there is a part where there's like a little it changes. Yeah, you know what I mean. So everyone was telling me like, be careful, because the car will snap loose, and if you overcorrect it, you will hit the wall. So I was like, okay. So my very first lap, I was like, don't hit the wall, don't hit the wall. But I still wanted to be fast, because I was like, I don't want to be slow in my first lap, I want to show myself that I can do this. So I went and just did what Big Willie said, and it worked. I think on our first round, we were like 4th overall, and then right before everyone started drafting. So I think overall, before draft, we were really fast too.
There seems to be a lot of people coming out of that NASCAR Mexico series and coming over here to be a part of this NASCAR in the United States. I mean, is that a big? I mean, is it a big deal over there in Mexico with NASCAR?
I think you'll see in July, when NASCAR Cup will go to Mexico City. It is becoming, especially, I'll give this to Checo Perez. When he started racing for Red Bull and Formula One started going a lot to the Autódromo Hermanos Rodriguez, people just started loving racing. Like, they didn't care if it was formulas, if it was late models, or like the equivalent there, or NASCAR Mexico. They just wanted to watch race cars. So after that, like, become a trend with Checo Perez, they also started looking at NASCAR Mexico. And I think now that the Cup Series is going, it will just give more engaged to, like, people will like it even more. So right now, almost every race that we have had is a sold out. Now with the NASCAR Cup going, we are going to do the full racetrack, and they are expecting it to be full. So hopefully it will. I hope that you guys can go to the NASCAR Mexico race and the NASCAR Cup Series race, and I'll show you also what good tacos are.
All right.
I'm sure they're way different than the junk that we get here, right?
I mean, a little bit different, but I cannot wait to see you guys in person, and I'll show you some of the best stuff in Mexico besides the racetrack.
So how old are you, and what's your goals here?
I'm 21 years old. I was racing with Rev for like the last 4 years. I did a lot of late model stuff. So my goal this year, besides doing NASCAR Mexico for the full season, last year we made it to the playoffs in NASCAR Mexico. And then unfortunately we had some issues in one of the races, and we didn't ended up going to the last round. But of course we want to be champions in NASCAR Mexico, so we're going to be working really hard on that this year. We are still doing a lot of conversations with Mullins Racing. I would love to do some races with them, hopefully soon. Still racing late models, and I don't know, let's see how everything turns going, and maybe in the next few years after do a full season of ARCA and maybe a truck start. That would be really good.
So now let me ask you: is with Daniel Suarez and the success that he's had, does that help people from Mexico look and say, "Hey, I can do this too," and helps draw interest into it?
Definitely, I think not only for people in Mexico, but for any little boy, little girl that has a dream. Whenever they see someone doing it, it's the proof that they can do it too. So for me, not only as a Hispanic driver, but also as a girl, I want to show all the girls that are out there that they can make their dreams come true. I think just for inspiration, Danny is opening a lot of doors, and also for marketing. I think not only Danny Suarez, but actually the Cup Series going to Mexico, that will give more. It will be easier to find sponsors. So I think that's the hardest part. A lot of times you have the talent, but sponsors are the main part of it.
Yeah, for sure. So who do you look up to in the female side of it as a race car driver?
So, of course, I mean, I think Danica is very polemic. A lot of people loves her, and a lot of people hate her. But I think she did a lot of good things. I like how she was really aggressive sometimes. Right now, I think we're missing that phase.
Yeah.
In more like in the NASCAR world, we have seen a lot of success in formulas from different drivers. Jamie Chadwick, for example, in IndyCar, she recently won like in July, I think. And I think it changes a lot of perspectives. I know a lot of drivers have also had success, like Gracie or Tony, or in different stuff, but I don't think there is a phase that has to stick for a long time to show her talent and show what she can do and actually follow her. I know Tony's doing a full season this year, so I hope that she does really good. She's a friend of mine, so hopefully she'll do very good in this year in the truck series.
Well, I mean, we hope you do well too. So where are you going to be running? Are you going to be running anywhere in the United States this year?
I mean, some late model stuff, and hopefully I can talk to you guys again soon and tell you about some ARCA plans. And we haven't figured it out yet with Mullins Racing what stuff we want to do. But as soon as we figure that out and we know the racetracks that we want to do, I'll make sure to reach out to Jack's email and tell you guys that we're ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, we appreciate that, and good luck to you. I hope you get everything going and able to get a ride with Big Willie, because, Big Willie, well, he's not the boss. Dinah's the boss, so you need to talk to her.
Yeah, she's my contact point. But yeah, and for sure, let me know whenever you're in Mexico, and we'll take you to the racetrack and for food. I think you'll love that.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you again real soon, and let me know how things are going, and we'll get you back on here again.
Thank you so much. It was really nice to meet you, Scott. Really nice to meet you, Adam. And of course, Jack, thank you for the invitation. I hope to do this really soon again. Thank you.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
We appreciate it. Goodbye.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
It's crazy how these younger generations are so prepared, right? For me, yeah, she knew everybody's name, right? Like me, I'm gonna be like, oh, who am I talking to? Huh?
Yes, your name.
Well, I still wouldn't have got it if it was me. I'm like, you know,
It's like I went to the hospital with my father-in-law, and I had my shirt on, had my name on it, and the preacher was there, and I've only seen this guy one time, and he walks up to me and he starts talking, Jack, how you doing? It's good to meet you. No, carry on the conversation. I go around the corner and my wife was sitting there. The heck does he know who I am? She said, you got your name on your shirt.
I was like,
Nervous that the preacher knew who I was.
yeah. Well, it's like when we were in Charlotte, and when I came back to the meeting, I'm like, this dude just stopped me. I don't know how the hell he knew who I was. He's like, hey, is Jell Jr. gonna be running Langley? I'm like, I don't know. I haven't heard that. He's like, I heard he said he's gonna do it. I'm like, I don't know about that. And we went back and forth a little bit, and I get back to the meeting soon. I'm like, he must. I don't know who the hell he is, but I think he was from Newport News. That. And then I got to looking at the shirt. I had that crew shirt, and I looked and I had Langley Speedway on there. I'm like, oh, that's how he knew. The dude's like, hey man, you from Langley? I'm like, yeah.
All right, well, that's our show for tonight. We appreciate everybody being here. Number one thing, we appreciate Fast Eddie for bringing barbecue because
Thank you, Eddie.
we needed that tonight. Want to thank everybody we've had on the show: Regina, John Costanzo, Tim Brown, and Cole Jarrett. We'll be
Not
seeing.
Bird Myers.
Yeah, Scotty,
I thought that we were gonna have a recap of Red Farmer.
I did too. When he said, "I know you did say bird,"
I know. I was like, oh shit. 'Cause I know they ain't real fond of each
and
other.
we also had our first turning it off so they could fight deal.
And I was like,
Disagreement.
It was kind of like one of those things, a car wreck that you couldn't stop watching. Like, we got to turn this off the air.
So anyway, next week's show, we're going to have Scott Lloyd. He is racing with ALS, and he's going to tell us what all they're doing for the ALS.
So, what's up, Danny? I keep saying, Danny, you got to contact us because if you wait for me to contact you, it'll probably never happen. We got to get you on the show someday.
And Spanky be back with us next week. Jason Eaton be back with us next week.
And he's fighting ALS.
He's fighting LNS, and they work with. He works with Scott on some stuff, and I think it'd be good to have them both here and explain about the
How the
ALS
program
and
works,
how that
yeah.
works. And it's not a cut and dry deal so far, but hopefully the real Burt Myers will be here next week.
Scott's gonna call him in.
It's not costing him. I'm walking out of here. My association with Scott will be over at that point.
Well, I mean, what's good for the good?
You done pissed off Red Farmer. I mean, how much?
I thought it was going to be a retake of that.
I did too for a minute. I was trying to start talking real quick so you would.
I can't believe I did that for one. But I thought like, well, he didn't catch that. But now he did. Yeah.
So anyway, that's our show for tonight. Please like and share our show, and we'll see you again next week.
Saturday.
That's right. At the banquet this weekend.
Oh, Saturday at the banquet. That's right. Yeah, that's
We're
right.
going to announce the winner
Of the sponsorship deal.
and announcement from maybe 2026. Let's see.
We'll see
Big
how-
announcement.
So hang in there, and we'll see you. We'll see you Saturday night. If not, we'll replay it again on Tuesday with the announcement.
There you go.
All right, we'll talk to you later.